Multifamily Mindset
podcast. Think bigger.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Multifamily Mindset podcast. I'm Kyle, and today we're going to kick off a new series that's all about improving how we communicate. So whether it's in business, building relationships, or navigating the day-to-day conversations, the tools that we're going to explore in this series is called the sales framework. And trust me, this is what Tyler uses every single day, and it's going to change the way you approach conversations. So what is the sales framework, and why should you care about it? Well, sales stands for switch seats, assess the need, locate the pain, embrace objections, and solve together. Now, if that sounds like a lot to digest, don't worry. In this episode, I'm going to give you a quick overview of each step. And then, in the following episodes, we'll break them down into detail. This framework is designed to help you have better, more meaningful conversations. Whether you're trying to close a deal, resolve a conflict, or just understand someone better. So, why sales? Why is a framework like this important? Well, too often in conversations, we focus on what we want to say. We're thinking about how to respond rather than really listening. What the sales framework does is shift the focus outward. It teaches us to listen first, understand the other person's perspective, and then guide the conversation towards a collaborative solution. It's about creating a win-win, not just winning. So if you ever walk away from a conversation thinking, I didn't really get what I wanted out of that, or I'm not sure they really understood me, then this framework is for you. So as for the breakdown of the sales framework, let's quickly go through each step so I can give you a taste of what's coming in the following episodes. As far as S, for switch seats, this is all about empathy. You need to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Too often, we come into conversations with our own agenda and forget that the person we're speaking to has their own perspective, priorities, and pain points. Soon, we'll dive deep into how you can prepare by researching the other person's needs and why doing this leads to more productive conversations. A is assess the need. Once you're in their shoes, the next step is to assess their need. This means listening and asking the right questions to uncover what the other person actually wants. We'll talk about how to ask open-ended questions and dig below the surface to understand the true needs of motivation behind their words. L, locate the pain. Pain is what drives action. If someone's experiencing a pain point, they're much more likely to take action, whether it's making a purchase, changing a behavior, or agreeing to a solution. We'll focus on how to identify these pain points by recognizing both verbal and nonverbal cues. E, embrace objections. Objections are a sign the other person is engaged. Instead of seeing objections as roadblocks, we're going to learn how to view them as opportunities. We'll cover how to respond to objections in a way that moves the conversation forward rather than shutting it down. And finally, the last S, solve together. The final step is to collaborate on the solution. It's not about pushing your own agenda, but guiding the conversation so the other person feels like they've arrived at a solution with you. We'll give you strategies on how to make this happen and why it builds lasting relationships. So that's just a quick overview of the sales framework. As you can tell, there's a lot that we can really get into. So over the next few weeks, we're going to take a deeper look at each step, how to apply it, what common mistakes to avoid, and finally, how you can use this framework to have a more effective and more meaningful conversations. So in the next episode, we'll start with the first letter, S, for switch seats. We'll talk about how to do your research, anticipate the needs of the person you're speaking to, and really put yourself in their position. Trust me, this shift in perspective is a game changer when it comes to communication. Now that I've started telling you about it, you will notice it every time you're having a conversation with Tyler, or honestly, anybody else that's applied this to their framework. In any case, thanks for tuning into this first episode. I hope you're as excited as I am to explore the sales framework in more detail. If you want to stay ahead and get a little bit more insight on how to apply these tips in real time, just make sure you subscribe and feel free to drop any questions you have. I'll try to cover them in future episodes. Remember, better conversations lead to better outcomes, whether in business, in your personal life, or anywhere else. So let's learn how to communicate better together. Until next time, keep thinking bigger.
Multifamily Mindset.
Podcast. Think